Good morning, and welcome to A Dose of Sunshine. I'm Sami Vecchiolla. I am your host today, and I have a very special guest. And today I actually wanted to bring him on because not only has he planned some amazing trips for me, but one of the reasons why I love being a real estate agent is because I can do business from anywhere. So even when I'm laying down at the beach in a totally different country, I can still help my clients with everything that they need. The only thing I can't do is show houses, but I have plenty of people to help me with that. So I am bringing on Frank Bastone from Pinnacle Trips. He is an amazing travel planner, and what he says is he plans and then you relax. So let's bring Frank on. Come on, Frank.
Good morning, Sammy Sunshine. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today.
It is a
Gorgeous.
beautiful day. So tell us
Yeah,
about yourself. Share with everyone what you do,
sure.
how you do it, and all the lives that you change.
Okay. I started my business about 7 years ago, and I come from a corporate background. I was a software development manager for GE and Merrill Lynch and Aetna. And I always wanted to own my own business, and I love travel. So I thought this would be a great combination. So I decided to retire from the corporate world and open up my own business. And so I did. Initially, obviously, it was with family and friends, and then year after year, the business grew. And I joined a networking group called Master Networks, and that has really helped my business tremendously. And so I love to plan trips. What I do is interview I call myself the vacation therapist. The reason why I did that was because I interview my clients prior to the trip. I understand what types of vacations they like to go on, what interests they have, what activities they like to do, what resorts and hotels they like to stay at. And then what I do is I match them up with the right tour, all-inclusive resort, or cruise if they want to go on a cruise. And I've traveled a lot myself, and so whenever I go on a trip, I always do a tour of the other resorts that are in the area or the other hotels that are, in, like, say, Europe. And I take notes. I have a journal, and so I could personally tell them that this is the place to stay. This hotel is centrally located. You don't have to, take a cab. You're right there. And then I also provide them day excursions, on their trip. And so it could be like an independent type vacation where they stay in a hotel. I book a few of the day excursions, and then they have free time on their own to explore. So if they go to, say, an all-inclusive resort, then they'll stay at the resort, and then they'll also have other activities. Say on the island, they may want to go on a catamaran ride, at sunset, or see some of the other interesting things that are on the island. Maybe they have a rainforest and that type of thing. So I really enjoy doing that because when they return, they really had a good time. They recharge their batteries, and it's really a great feeling. Because we live in a world where we're constantly working and constantly 24/7, and so this gives them the opportunity to connect with their family also, because a lot of the times you see them at dinner time and then that's about it. I know I have 3 boys, and they love going traveling. We just went on a family cruise last year to Bermuda, and it was terrific. It was really, really, really a great time. And everybody went their separate ways, and then we got together, did various activities. And Bermuda is beautiful. I would highly recommend it.
Oh man, I'm like looking forward to my next trip. You've planned a few trips for me and Michael, and we are so grateful for everything that you've done. I mean, your process is so easy. Like, you really take into account everything that a traveler is going to experience, and you put it together in such a quick, easy to digest way, and definitely they're able to relax. And I remember even on my honeymoon, we planned my honeymoon last year. We went to the Azores. It's this way, this photograph right here. And you haven't even gone to the Azores, but you were so great at deciding which hotel would be best for us, and you picked the best ones. We loved it. You did a really great job.
Yeah, that's the other thing I do as well. I go to trade shows and I speak with the various people who are either the tourist boards or actually people who are specialists in the area, like for instance the Azores. The Azores, as you know, is part of Portugal, and there's a huge population of Portuguese up in Fall River, Massachusetts. And I happened to have dinner with a few of the agents from that agency, and I had mentioned that you were going on your honeymoon, and I asked them for some recommendations. So I have to really kind of give them the credit, but as far as that's concerned, so I make sure I kind of go, over the top when, especially if obviously for a honeymoon, because that's going to be a memorable experience, and that's really what I want to do is create lifetime memories.
We still talk about it to this day, and we encourage everyone to check it out. It is one of the best experiences that we've had traveling. And 2 years before that, you planned our trip to, we bought tickets for the Paris Air Show, but we didn't plan anything else. So we figured, well, might as well make a big trip out of it. So we went to Paris, Amsterdam, and Belgium, and you picked like the best hotels right in the center where everything was going on. It was really great, and you really gave us all the resources that we need to have a very amazing and relaxing trip.
That was a fun trip to travel. I mean, to plan as well, because I've been to Paris, so I can certainly do that. Have a lot of information about Paris, but then I did the rail connections and and when I plan a trip, I plan it like it's going to be me going on the trip. So I want to make sure that as I mentioned earlier, the hotel is centrally located. You see the various sites, and I believe you also went to Bruges, which is a phenomenal place. With the canals and everything. And I want to make sure that was definitely a must see. I just want to tell you, you have to see that because I know you had stayed in Brussels. That was that's just a lot of fun.
It was awesome. We had such a great time. Bruges was one of our favorite places, and Amsterdam was really fun too because it's just so beautiful, just the way the houses are all in a row and the different canals. It's amazing. I love to travel, and when we met, I was immediately I was like, okay, here's my excuse to use a friend. Like, where can I go?
Yeah.
What was the most amazing trip that you've been on? Not that you've planned, but that you've been on yourself. Locally or far away, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. I was myself and this is before I had children. We went on a 2-week tour of Italy, and it was Italy. I mean, basically north and south. It's almost like one of those, where if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium type thing. But it was like there was no way in hell I could do it myself. And it was, you get to see, all different parts of Italy. We went up to the Italian lake area, Lake Maggiore. We went to Venice. We went to Rome. We went to Florence. We went to the Tuscany area. The best lunch, the best meal, not even lunch, the best meal we ever did was at a Tuscan vineyard. It was on a terrace overlooking the vineyard, and then we just we had the Italian cheeses, provolone, prosciutto. We had the wine. It was a gorgeous experience. And then we actually went down to the Amalfi Coast as well, and Sorrento, Capri, and that was really nice. So over the years we went back to visit those areas. Obviously spending some more time there. We went to the lake region of Italy. We went to Lake Como, went to Lake Garda prior to one of our other trips. And also we had planned actually this year to go to Sorrento and Capri, Positano. But as things happened, we're not doing that. And we're also going to go to Malta. but we're not going to do that. So we'll plan it next year.
That's awesome. So what inspires you most?
Um, I would say just the I would say like the excitement of the people when I talk to them over the phone or I meet them, when I meet them in public, just to, share my experiences and we have a good conversation as to, where they've been in the past and, what they've done. And when I share when I share my experience, I kind of get, real excited about it. And and then get them excited about it. And as far as, what to do and where to go. Sometimes they don't have sometimes they really don't know where to go, especially if I'm talking to like a honeymoon couple, or there's so many different things you can do if they want to go to the Caribbean, and that type of thing. I tell them which particular resorts are better than others, for couples, and then if I'm working with, say, a baby boomer my age, I tell them about my experience. Say we went on a river cruise down the Danube, and that was amazing. We started up in Prague. We spent 3 nights there, which was just an amazing city. I have actually pictures downstairs of Prague. It's just gorgeous. And then we went down the Danube. We started over in Nuremberg, and then we went to Regensburg, and then we went into Austria. And Austria's just a beautiful country. We took an excursion where The Sound of Music was filmed, and it was really, really, really cool. And then the great thing about river cruises is that you could stay in the city overnight. So in Vienna, we went to a concert that night, and one of the famous concert halls. So that was really, really cool. And then we actually landed. The last stop was in Budapest, in Hungary, which was an amazing city as well. I really didn't expect Budapest to be so beautiful, but they have the Parliament building right on the Danube, and the people are great there too. There was an outdoor market. We went shopping. It was just really great.
Well, it sounds so exciting. I can't wait to start traveling again.
Yeah.
So what I know I'm throwing you on the spot with this, but what type of travel is okay to do right now?
Okay, yeah. So right now, I would say the least impacted COVID area right now is really the Caribbean. Once COVID happened, basically they shut down their borders, and then we shut down our borders as well, and also Europe. There's a lot of people from say Germany and England also go to the Caribbean. So once they shut down, there were really no people going into the Caribbean. So they really were basically fine. I actually have a couple going to Jamaica. Jamaica actually opened up just earlier this week. And so they're going to the couples resort in Jamaica. It's called Swept Away. It's a really nice resort. They're going the first week in July. I have another couple going to Barbados in the Sandals Resort. Also a very nice all-inclusive resort, adults only. So there are still places to go in the Caribbean, and and also the United States. So we have the really, really nice national parks. So we got the Grand Canyon. We have Bryce Canyon with Zion National Park, Yellowstone, Yosemite. So all those they're starting to open up. And
I told you my story about my national park story.
Yeah, good.
I was all ready to go to Yellowstone. I booked my trip. My friend, my best friend since first grade, her mom, her and my mom, we all booked the trip together. And I kind of was just like, oh, whatever you guys want to do, just I'll send my money in and you guys can take care of it. I'm very easygoing, don't really care what we do as long as we're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know we're flying out to California, which I didn't realize that Yellowstone went that far. And I got there and we ended up in Yosemite. So that part, there's no bison, but it was still a great time and breathtaking views. I mean,
Yosemite is gorgeous. El Capitan and the waterfalls.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. The other part of the United States that I have actually experienced as well is doing a Mississippi River cruise.
Oh, yes, you did that recently, right?
Yeah, we did that a few years ago, and that was a great experience because I've never been that in that part of the country. So this particular itinerary was going from New Orleans up to Memphis. So
Wow.
we spent the night in New Orleans, which is a a really cool town. We went to Bourbon Street, and we did a lot of things the night before the cruise. And then we went to Vicksburg, which is a famous battle in the Civil War. We did that. The news that we actually took a jazz tour as well in Mississippi. And what they do is they bring you over to B.B. King's museum and his house. And believe it or not, there's an Emmy museum out there. I never knew that. I thought it was always in California, but there's an Emmy museum specifically for jazz. But and then we went up to Memphis, and we went to Graceland. And I thought, oh, Graceland, they got the nice house. Well, I mean, the house was actually very modest. I thought, it isn't this huge mansion. I mean, it was, we had beautiful rooms. I mean, it was beautifully furnished and decorated. And they have like these peacock stainless stained windows in his living room, and also he has downstairs. He has the jungle room, but the museum itself, they actually had his planes, his Rolls Royces, his Cadillacs, and it kept going on and on and on. So it was really, I mean, you could spend the whole day there. It was really cool.
Jane is singing "Going to Memphis." That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Frank, how can people connect with you if they wanted to book a trip? What's a great way to connect with you?
Yeah, so you can call me. My number is 845-669-6149. That's 845-669-6149. Or you can call. It's Frank at pinnacletrips.com, and my website is pinnacletrips.com. And we're a full service travel business. So, as I said earlier, we do, cruises, tours, all inclusive resorts, and destinations that I may not know about, but I'll do some research and talk to the people who do.
And that. Even though you don't know, you fix it. And even when I was away in the Azores, I called you.
Oh, that's right.
And you were like, "No problem, I got this."
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. So I just enjoy doing what I do, and I want to make sure people are happy. And I'm also a travel advocate as well. If something happens on the trip, either before, during, or after, I'm there to go to bat for you. And versus some of the online travel agencies, you can't call them at any time, but you can call me. And I've had that happen with a few clients, including yourself. So I'm always available and to plan your vacations and to make your dreams come true.
I love that. I already have, my mom is saying, "My bag is packed and ready to go."
I love that song too.
She's so funny. She's probably singing right now. I could see the quotes. I just realized. My mom is like a jukebox. You give her a word and she'll start singing.
That's great.
Anyways, I thank you so much for being a part of this and coming on here. You are always happy. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't wear my favorite shirt with the pineapples.
Oh, I know. It doesn't really show up too well on video, the pineapples.
He always shows up in a Hawaiian shirt of some kind. We still got to find you the long sleeve ones for the winter.
Yeah,
but
I got a couple of them.
Frank is just a ball of sunshine, and that's why I had to bring him on, because not only is he bringing happiness to people's lives through travel, but he's just a pleasure to work with. So thank you. I appreciate your time, and I hope everyone that's planning a trip talks to you, because you really do know what you're doing, and you are an advocate. And I just appreciate everything that you've done for me and Michael too.
Well, thank you very much for having me today on the Dose of Sunshine with Sami Sunshine. It's really fun. It's really fun. Thanks a lot. Thanks everybody.
All right.
Happy
Bye,
travel.
everyone. Happy Friday.
Bye-bye now.